Hello everybody, Big Jim here. It's been a while since I put out a video, so I'm going to do a quick little video here on a little project I've been doing the past couple of weeks. Is my John Deere 1941. And I had to first rebuild the mag, and then I had to rebuild the carburetor. I didn't get any of that on film, but I will tell you the ins and outs of everything that I had to do, the things I possibly did wrong or didn't do right. There was only like one of them. Anyway, the mag here is a Model H, and what I ended up doing was going online and I found a kit that carried wires, the ends for the wires, the cap, the rotor, the condenser, the points, and the coil, because this is the old coil that was in there. It's an old paper wrapped Weco coil. It wasn't any good. I ohmed it out and it hardly ohmed out anything. So I went ahead and bought another kit, put it all on, and instantly I had fire, which was great. So the next step was to be able to get it to run. I hadn't messed with the carburetor for quite a while. This thing sat in the shed for probably close to 15 years, and here in the last couple of weeks I got it out and been messing with it. But anyway, did the same thing. I bought a kit offline, and I'm here to tell you, even though some of the parts would have worked out of the old parts that would have came out of it would have worked, the new kits are so much better looking. They're not all rusty looking and everything. Like my load needle and my idle needle are all rusted up here on the top, so it looks like crap. But anyway, I had one issue where I was flooding out, putting too much fuel into the engine, and of course you know how that goes. It leaks through the pistons and then the crankcase, so you got to deal with that. So anyway, I found out that, and this was several 15-20 years ago, I put a float in it. Well, what happens is a lot of people don't seem to realize that if you leave fuel in that bowl with this float in there, it causes contraction and expansion really bad. Well, it ended up cracking around the seam, and not on the welded seam, but up. There's little cracks that go up. Well, what happened was it got heavy, so it would never shut off. So along with this kit came a float. So I replaced the float, adjusted everything, soaked the carburetor, blew it out, used carb cleaner, all that good stuff. You know, you got to take all the access screws out. So I did that. Thought, well, I got this going. So I put it back on the tractor. Well, it started and ran, but it was backfiring like crazy. And no matter what kind of adjustments I would do to either the load or the idle needle, it didn't change. So what you're supposed to do with these old carburetors is buy some drill bits, and they tell you what they are. They're a number 40, and on my carburetor, number 53. This was a DLTX 53 model carburetor to begin with. I ended up ordering them bits, got them. I had taken the carburetor all off and dismantled it down. And then in these, when I got these bits, it came with instructions on what to do first, what to do second, what to do third, and with what bit, which was really nice. I watched a few videos where they stated that you really should drill them out because it'll make a difference. It's a major step in getting your carburetor right. Drilled them out, put them all back together. Tractor ran, didn't even backfire once. Now I'm to the point where all I have to do is do some major load adjustment, and you know, once I get it out and I'm doing something with it and making it load up, then we'll see how well that's adjusted. But right now, as you can see, I got the pipe out. The pipe had rotted off. It was no good, barely had any left. Anyway, I'm waiting on that part to show up, and then you have to braze these back in, is what they say. I've read a couple forums where guys use JB weld. Whether or not that's a good thing or bad thing, I don't know. All I know is JB weld has a top heat of like 550 degrees, which this would never get to 550 degrees if you could seal it. So we're going to try to braze it. We'll see, but it's down the road. Maybe I might get that pipe this week. If I do, we'll look into doing it. Anyway, I just wanted to catch you up on it. It runs, and it runs pretty good. Adjustment on the hand throttle, you know, you got to adjust that right, get that right, so when your governor works, it doesn't, you know, run it full or run it low. Anyway, that's one of the projects that I've had to do since I started this clearing out for all the barnuminium that we're going to do. I've done a lot of that, and that'll be in future videos. Skid loader work, that kind of thing. Even had a big excavator come in, took out all the big trees, cleared it all out. Looks really good. Well, it looks like a bomb went off back there with all the roots and stuff to still clean up, but it's a step forward. Anyway, glad you guys could watch this. Got any questions, put them in the comments. You know, whatever I can do to make it easier for somebody that has to do this, that doesn't do it all the time like me, and I've got an answer for you, I'll give it to you. Make sure that, you know, the step-by-step stuff is done right and correctly, where a lot of these videos, they go through it, they miss a little bit here and there, but you know, they're pretty informative. But this is, you know, this is hands-on right here. I did all this myself. I know exactly what I had to do. Also, I found out that on these older carburetors, where the float pivots on the old screws, you tighten them down too much, they tighten down on the edge of the flange that holds the float, and it wouldn't move. But with the new ones, they're a little bit shorter, so they allow that float to freely move in there. That was one of the big things. That and drilling it out. Who would have thought? These are little bitty itty drill bits, and it made a world of difference between night and day. Anyway, enough of me talking about that. That's about it. Please like and subscribe, comment, and we'll see you on the next one.